concerned that you're not going to make it, or you know, uh,
Something will happen. For sure, it'll, like,
yeah,
traffic.
yeah.
Yeah,
I remember getting stopped by a highway patrolman on my way up to San Francisco to do a wedding at the Palace of Fine Arts. And I had my stole draped and I had my whole outfit, and I just said to the guy, I'm officiating at a wedding. I'm going to be late. And he let me off.
Woo.
He said, all right, but you just drive carefully from this moment on. So,
Yes.
yes, sir. Yes, officer. So the key words that hi, Janet.
Hi, honey.
There's some handouts on the table in the office. Great. Welcome.
Thank you.
Be sure and sign your name, so I will know to send you the rest.
So the key words that actually were sort of on the title of the blurb that Mary sent out was co-creation, connection, authenticity, heart, and healing power. And those are the 5 major components for me in the underlying the undergirding of a wedding ceremony. There's so much of the time that a couple will come in, or it's after the ceremony's happened and we're at the reception, and people will say, most ceremonies are empty. Most of them, it's just this quick thing before the party.
Mm-hmm.
It was inauthentic. It was impersonal. The minister didn't know the people and made a mistake about their names, and went off. That's happened quite a bit. Or gone off on a tangent about something that had nothing to do with the couple. So coming to know, even if it's just a couple of meetings, finding that way into who they are and what their essence is all about and what's important to them is key. Welcome. It's okay. Come on in. There's handouts in the other room. Okay. We are so fortunate to be the ones who are carrying on these ancient ways. That we as a species have been, they're finding that even Neanderthal did ceremony. I have some Neanderthal in me, so I was glad to hear that.
Don't we all?
No. Oh, no. Just the ones that were Northern European. Yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we
Because that's where
don't.
the Neanderthals
No.
lived. Yeah.
But that's a whole other subject. Right?
Yeah.
So the truth of it is, one of my teachers, and some of you may be hearing this again. I've said some of this before, but it bears repeating again and again. That we carry the memory and the DNA of doing ceremony, doing ritual, calling on the forces of the universe to help us, to support us, to guide us in our puny little lives that are struggling and trying to make sense of things. And so everyone has this memory. We have it in our bones. And so people will come into my office and they'll kind of be dazed, and they'll, well, what do you do? I don't know. And, I'll say to them, what we know in this culture right now on the planet is how to have a good party.
Yoo-hoo.
Mm-hmm. We know how to do that. The couple knows how to throw a good party. Mm-hmm. They don't know how to throw a good ceremony. And I have to say that I do have, there has been this wave of, having your Aunt Sally, or having, your best friend from college, or somebody that you care about, that cares about you, that knows you, officiating at the wedding. And I think that what is true is that people don't remember the importance of having someone who can hold ceremonial energy, ceremonial space. They don't understand the depth and the layered gifts that can bring. That's if the person who is officiating really cares about being present and really cares about connecting with everyone. So this is one of the few rituals we have left to honor the great mystery and to honor community. Really, I have to really. Often I have to remind people about baby blessings. I have to remind people. There are people who don't want to have a funeral. Don't have a funeral for me when I die. So, and there are people who elope. That's true. But even in the courthouses, the people that are marrying people are doing it in a ceremonial way. They're doing it respectfully. So this is a little window that we still have, a big window, an opportunity. And sometimes I think about some of the weddings I went to as a child and as a young adult, where the minister was really trying to bring everybody to Jesus. Not talking about relationship, not grounding the ceremony in the couple, but using it as an opportunity to witness. And that can be an uncomfortable thing. So I've committed myself to witnessing about what I know about what creates a really healthy, balanced, nurturing relationship. People have been, so we're inviting people to remember and to access this power. And so everything that I do, all of these handouts, everything I'm going to say is all about that. It's all about creating authentic connection with the divine, with ourselves, and with each other. People have been, quote unquote, stealing ceremony from each other forever. They
Sure.
would go, thousands of years ago, they'd go to some other area, some other tribe. They'd be part of some ceremony because they were happening all the time, right? And they would find something that really spoke to them, and they would bring it back to their people. So, that's the spirit in which I'm sharing whatever it is that I've gotten. What is it now? I was ordained in '88, but I remember doing a ceremony for a same-sex couple before I was ordained, legally ordained. And I knew I was doing ceremonies. I don't know with you all. I mean, it's a calling that something knocks on your door of your heart and your soul. And it just is. And I know that I'm doing the work I'm supposed to be doing because I keep growing in it. That's a really important part. If I ever feel like it's getting stale, if I ever, there have been times when it's like, I'm not feeling this one, or I'm not feeling connected here. And then I go back into myself and I find out what it is that I need to be doing or experiencing or exploring. And I ask, help me juice this up, help me enliven what I do. And I haven't had that feeling for a while, actually. And there are all different levels of appreciation of the work, aren't there? You do a ceremony and they're just beaming at you. It's like there hasn't been anything like this since chewing gum. You're just it. And then if there's one where they just kind of, well, thank you. Here's your other half of your fee. And they go off, and it's like watching myself watching my ego, where the attachment is to being praised, and where I look, you know, like that other part of me is like, oh, they didn't I? So what I do before a ceremony is I just hand it over. I do my preparation. I do my whatever practices ground me and connect me. But how other people receive what I do my best, and how they receive it is not my business. I know that sounds a bit harsh, but
No, that's true.
No, that's
it's true.
You can't be responsible
No,
for what they do.
no.
You can only give your 120%.
Yeah. Now I have a confession to make. I said there was going to be lecture, handouts, and interactive. But, you know, in the small amount of time that we have, the interactive piece, I want to have time for, you know, comments and questions, and that's the interactive part for me. We would need to have this be a half day or a whole day to have, you know, to create ceremony and to have that kind of an experience. So anything that you might have to share, or any questions you have, please. This is a mutually generating field here, which is what is true for working with a couple in planning, not just planning the ceremony, but getting to know them, having them be self-revealing, having me be self-revealing enough, and co-creating. It's a co-creation, so that when it's over, number one, it's not over, but number two, they can own it as something that they created with me. That I was the guide, I was a facilitator, but, you know, I pulled forth the ideas from them. I elicited the engagement from them that allowed that authenticity, and for them to be engaged, so that everyone, it's like a transmission. It's like something that keeps connecting everybody. It's like the 6 degrees of separation. It's like 0 degrees of separation in the wedding ceremony. And when the parents, who sometimes would love to have had it be done by a Catholic priest in you know, church, and with, you know, the mass and all of that, I just did a wedding where I met with a couple after. I always like to meet with a couple after to do a little debriefing, and they were saying how much their Catholic parents were so relieved and so pleased at the heart, and it didn't matter. The mother said, well, we were upstairs with the bride getting all ready, you know, all the women were together doing the women thing. The mother said, well, I have to tell you, I had a mass said for you. And the daughter was, oh, great, Mom. And she said something about holy water, and I said, well, I wish that you had brought the holy water so that we could use it in the ceremony. You know? It's like opening up and welcoming all of it. Because it is strange for some of the families who are steeped in tradition and what is okay and what isn't okay, to see their children doing something new and strange in a way. That's why it's important that everything be authentic, so that the strangeness melts. It just dissipates. One of the things that I would like us to do right now, just for a few minutes, to take 2 minutes each, I'd like to have you pair up. So just two and two and two and two. And take 2 minutes apiece. And I would like to have you say, what is your favorite thing about being a minister? And what do you identify as your strongest quality or asset in being a minister? And what do you consider to be your edge of growth in your ministry? Because I think that those are all really important pieces to stay aware of. One is as we present ourselves to the world, being really awake to our assets, and as we are refining how we are of service, to be aware of our edge, and it could be even marketing, you know, not necessarily how we engage with people, but
So you're
So-
asking for the place that we find that we need growth the most.
Could you repeat
Yeah,
that again?
surely I will. What is your favorite thing about being a minister? What is your strongest asset that you consider to be your strongest asset? And what is your challenge or your edge in your ministry? So let's just, and somebody that doesn't matter whether you know somebody well or not, just to do this as easily and smoothly as possible. And we'll
So-
take
You're
3
easy.
minutes apiece.
Yeah. Be easy. So, you go ahead.